Atomic Habits, Chapter 15, The Cardinal Rule of Behavior Change. We are more likely to repeat a behavior when the experience is satisfying. Pleasure teaches your brain that an experience is worth remembering and repeating. There is a passage from the book that I'd like to start off with. Imagine you're an animal roaming the plains of Africa, a giraffe, or an elephant, or a lion. On any given day, most of your decisions have an immediate impact. You're always thinking about what to eat, or where to sleep, or how to avoid a predator. You're constantly focused on the present, or the very near future. You live in what scientists call an immediate return environment, because your actions instantly deliver clear and immediate outcomes. Now switch back to your human self. In modern society, many of the choices you make today will not benefit you immediately. If you do a good job at work, you will get a paycheck in a few weeks. If you exercise today, perhaps you won't be overweight next year. If you save money now, maybe you'll have enough for retirement decades from now. You live in what scientists call a delayed return environment because you can work for years before your actions deliver the intended payoff. Why is this important? The human brain has not evolved to function in a delayed return environment, as it is a very modern implementation. The delayed return environment was introduced some 500 or so years ago. So, from the history of humans, which spans for thousands upon thousands of years, it's not very old, and thus the human brain has not evolved to to function in such an environment. That is why we seek things that provide instant gratification and sometimes dismiss the long-term implications that come with that. You could buy a nice sport car today, but the bills that will rack up in the future years may cause you to go bankrupt. These are things that we oftentimes dismiss because of the instant gratification that comes with owning a nice luxury car. Economists refer to our brain's lack of forethought as time inconsistency. The way your brain evaluates rewards is inconsistent across time. You value the present more than the future. Here are a few examples from the book. Why would someone smoke if they know it increases the risk of lung cancer? Why would someone overeat when they know it increases their risk of obesity? Why would someone have unsafe sex if they know it can result in sexually transmitted disease? Once you understand how the brain prioritizes rewards, the answer becomes clear. The consequences of bad habits are delayed while the rewards are immediate. Smoking might kill you in 10 years, but it reduces stress and eases your nicotine cravings now. Overeating is harmful in the long run, but appetizing in the moment. Sex, safe or not, provides pleasure right away. Disease and infection won't show up for days or weeks, even years. So, whatever is pleasurable in the present moment is whatever you are more likely to action. That is why it's so hard to think long term and have forethought and plan out your goals because the problem with goals is that they're set out for your future self, and your present self can get swayed very easily because there's no instant gratification that comes with long-term goals. That's why James Clear says to set up systems which are gratifying you even slightly uh, each time you do a certain behavior, and those certain behaviors eventually lead to a specific goal. Usually, with bad habits, the immediate outcome is satisfying, while the ultimate outcome feels bad. However, with good habits, the immediate outcome is not satisfying, but the ultimate outcome feels very satisfying. I'm going to repeat that. With good habits, the immediate outcome is not satisfying, but the ultimate outcome feels very satisfying. To put it another way, the costs of your good habits are in the present. The costs of your bad habits are in the future. Another passage, or a few passages from the book. The brain's tendency to prioritize the present moment means you can't rely on good intentions. When you make a plan to lose weight, write a book, or learn a language, you're actually making plans for your future self. And when you envision what you want your life to be like, it is easy to see the value in taking actions with long-term benefits. We all want better lives for our future selves. However, when the moment of decision arrives, instant gratification usually wins. You're no longer making a choice for future you, who dreams of being fitter or wealthier or happier. You're choosing for present you, who wants to be full, pampered, and entertained. As a general rule, the more immediate pleasure you get from an action, the more strongly you should question whether it aligns with your long-term goals. That last sentence it hits pretty hard for me. If there's something in your life that feels satisfying, you should really question it. The more satisfying something feels, the more you should question that behavior. Is this something that aligns with my goals? Because usually it's the bad habits that feel the most satisfying. Our preference for instant gratification reveals an important truth about success. Because of how we are wired, most people will spend all day chasing quick hits of satisfaction. The road less traveled is a road of delayed gratification. If you're willing to wait for the rewards, you'll face less competition and often get a bigger payoff. As the saying goes, the last mile is always the least crowded. So now we're going to look at how you can use instant gratification to your advantage to form healthy habits. As I said previously, the bad habits tend to have good or satisfying immediate outcomes, and the ultimate outcome feels bad. And with good habits, the immediate outcome is not satisfying, but the ultimate outcome feels very satisfying. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the good things that are in the bad habits and try to implement them into our healthier habits. So what is a good from our bad habits? The instant gratification that allows bad habits to form. We're going to use that same instant gratification to allow us to form healthy habits. So I'm just going to read this bullet. I know I'm repeating myself. The vital thing in getting a good habit to stick is to feel successful even in a small way. This tells the brain that the behavior is worth repeating. When forming good habits, you need a reason to continue them until the results are noticeable. It was much easier to use a passage from the chapter to explain this because James Clear did a really good job. So I'll just go ahead and read that. Immediate reinforcement can be especially helpful when dealing with habits of avoidance, which are behaviors you want to stop doing. It can be challenging to stick with habits like no frivolous purchases or no alcohol this month, because nothing happens when you skip happy hour drinks or don't buy that pair of shoes. It can be hard to feel satisfied when there is no action in the first place. All you're doing is resisting temptation, and there isn't much satisfying about that. I don't know why that felt so weird to read. But anyways, one solution is to turn the situation on its head. You want to make avoidance visible. Open a savings account and label it for something you want, maybe leather jacket. Whenever you pass on a purchase, put that same amount of money in the account. Skip your morning latte, transfer $5. Pass on another month of Netflix, move $10 over. It's like creating a loyalty program for yourself. The immediate rewards of seeing yourself save money toward the leather jacket feels a lot better than being deprived. You're making it satisfying to do nothing. That's just about all I have from this chapter, but this very last bit of information is, I think, the 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 best part of this chapter. Using instant gratification to form healthy habits, you really need to start thinking about how you can make your brand new habits or the habits you're trying to form satisfying. Because anybody can go to the gym, but not everybody can go to the gym consistently. there's a key difference, right? So the thing is, when you're starting off with a healthy habit, it's very hard to see why you'd want to pursue it because you don't get instant gratification. The results are delayed. When you go to the gym, you don't instantly get a six pack, but if you keep going, that is at the finish line per se. So how can you make your uh, time at the gym more satisfying? One strategy I use is that I know I've mentioned going to the gym in the past, but one strategy I use is I go to the gym with my friends. So the time in my gym is not only for me to work out, but also for me to hang out with my friends. So that is my instant gratification from going to the gym. That's why you may also play video games. Games like Call of Duty, which are multiplayer, they give you instant gratification in so many different ways. One, you're playing a video game, which is just making your dopamine receptors just shoot off, right? And on top of that, if you're playing with your friends, it makes the experience even better. So you want to experience that again because let's say the last time you played, you had so much fun and you're craving that feeling again. That's just what a habit is. You're just craving that feeling that you had last time. So whenever you're performing a habit, you want to feel happy. Because if you don't feel happy, your brain is going to say, oh, nope, nope, we're not doing this again. But if the outcome of that habit in a short term perspective is good, it's fun, it's pleasurable, then your brain will say, okay, we need to do this again. So that's just about all I have to say for this chapter. This is chapter 15, the cardinal rule of behavior change, and I'll be doing chapter 16 very soon. So thank you and have a nice day.